Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a timeless reading for the collective, so whenever and however you come across this video, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. And we've been going through our mega deck, pulling one card randomly every morning. You can look down in the description below if you are not familiar with how the mega deck was built and how that was all put together. But today's card is pulled from the Earth Magic Oracle deck by Stephen Farmer. And this deck is not numbered, so there are no numbers on these cards, but it is the Cave card representing a sanctuary. And I haven't read the reading in the book yet. You and I will go through that together for the first time in just a few minutes, but I wanted to just get all of the information and messages and transmissions that are coming directly to us from the card itself. So let's just take a look, for example, at the ideas of cave and sanctuary itself. Now, obviously, we've got a man here. I'm guessing a man, looks masculine, kind of body shape type to me. And he's not hiding, okay? So when we think of cave and sanctuary, we think of being hidden, of being, safety, that's a part of it, but also just the idea of protection and defensive kind of energy. That's not what we're getting from this card and from the image on this card. This gentleman, this man, this person is drawing on the walls of his cave. He's using the fire to his left, our right, the bottom right corner, to illuminate his wall, and he's expressing himself and leaving a legacy for others. So this is important, and we haven't talked a lot about legacy on this channel before. But these are, we know the cave paintings that we have seen throughout the planet, drawn by our ancestors. They were imparting their wisdom and knowledge, their experiences of what they were going through, and their stories, their lives. This is their history. It's our history. And I see a spiral right off the top that he's working on. And we don't know what all else he's got going. There's a hand down in that bottom left part of the wall there. You can see his paints. He's an artist. He's creating, but he's also an author, and he's expressing, and he's also a dancer, and his movements are dancing across the wall. So there's a whole bunch of things that happen with this type of energy where we are encouraged, and this we've heard a lot on the channel about expressing our true selves, living our most authentic lives, being our most authentic selves. That's the whole point of this channel, at least. But you have heard that before about expressing yourself, expressing your truth, expressing from a place of love. This is an act of love. This is an act of, it's almost a need to create, a need to express. I started writing poetry when I was a tiny child, as far as I can remember. I remember my brother accusing me of stealing a poem from a magazine. So I guess that was a sideways compliment there. But expressing yourself, if you don't express yourself, you'll explode. It's kind of like a giant pimple. I don't know why that came up in my mind, but we have a very strong sense of not just artistic expression, but of joy, of beauty, of passion. This is a passion project, and you may have a passion project that's kind of been in a cave, that's kind of been hidden away a little bit. I think we've talked about that before. But the idea of sanctuary, that you cannot express yourself if you don't feel safe. And no one else can express themselves if they don't feel safe. And the reason why our world is coming apart right now is because nobody really feels safe in their current environments because they're looking for their environments to bring them safety. We know on this channel, and we know as the collective as a whole, the galactic collective, we understand that sanctuary is within. And that you've heard innumerable times before. I feel like this is sunset, that at the end of the day, this is kind of like journaling for this person. They are, as I said, creating a history, creating a legacy for others to be able to look at and identify and say, this is the wisdom imparted from this creator. And this is creation. Anytime you are creating, you're making anything, you're writing poetry, you're making art, you're making songs, you're, making other things too, construction and hobbyists, people that make crafts, people that cook. I know there are people on this channel that cook. Those are all forms of expression, self-expression. And if this is something that you do, it's because it's part of your identity. It's part of who you are. It's part of you expressing your authentic self. And that's the wisdom that comes through on this card in the idea of sanctuary, that we only create from a place of safety. We can only create from a place of safety. When you are in survival mode, you can't create. You're too busy surviving. You're looking for the next bit of money, to get the next bit of food, to get the next bit of shelter, to get the next bit of transportation, to get you to the next bit of money, right? And it just goes in this tiny little circle. It's not a spiral getting us out of it. It's just a circle going around and around and around, and we're not making any progress because we're looking for our safety outside of ourselves. We're looking for our safety to be coming from that money. Our safety is coming from that food in our cupboards or the roof over our heads. And obviously, those are things that provide us with stability, with safety, with shelter, with sustenance, all those other things that start with an S. But sanctuary isn't what's out there. It's what's in there, what's inside you, what's within you. Your sanctuary, your safe place is you. The people that you draw to you, you are inviting into your safe space. So make sure that these are people that are going to honor, respect your safe space, your sanctuary, as well as any kind of energy. You don't want any kind of energy in there about blame, about judgment. That is not where creation comes from. Creation comes from love and joy and peace, from honoring ourselves, from respecting ourselves, from compassion for ourselves. That's where our sanctuary is. And anytime you're feeling frazzled by something that's happening, world events, your personal events, that sanctuary, that safe place is always within you. It's always here too, by the way, on this channel. Anytime you need to hear anything about love and support and encouragement, you can consider this your daily dose of rah-rah. Please feel safe in this space for sure. Let's take a look in the book and find out what it says for us for our reading for today for cave, representing sanctuary. I knew it. I have not looked at this. I have not looked at this before I started the reading. I'm just telling you guys. But here's the first sentence. As the sun sets, the crescent of the new moon appears in the distance as this ancestral human creates his art, painting on the walls of the cave with colors drawn from earth substances. The fire warms him, the cave shelters him and provides a refuge from the rest of the world. With its womb-like structure, it not only offers a sanctuary, but also serves as a temple that houses his creative spirit, which eventually gives birth to the physical form of his artwork. Note how absorbed he is in the process. He no doubt has prepared for this creative ceremony by getting the fire going, mixing the colors, and gathering his sacred objects. He's painting an image of a sacred spiral, one of the most ancient symbols ever discovered. It's been depicted in artwork found in a variety of cultures and occurs frequently in nature in exquisite mathematical proportions, such as in the shape of a nautilus shell. It also shows up in burial sites around the world, representing the endless spiral of life, death, rebirth. The grand and complex mystery so elegantly portrayed in a simple circular pattern. Your message. There is a quiet, still place inside of you that will always be available as a sanctuary. Yet finding such a place in the natural world will enhance and complement this internal place of peace. Whether it's a cave, meadow, forest, seashore, or any other setting in nature, this is where you can see, hear, and feel the presence of the eternal Creator in your surroundings. Let it become a temple for your heart and soul. Rather than having your computer, television, or any other human-made device or activity be your sanctuary, allow yourself to discover the perfect place in nature where you can simply be and breathe. Doing so bridges the connection between the internal and external, facilitating a spiritual communion that allows your being to be aligned in dramatic and quiet reverie with all that is. In today's busy world, it becomes even more critical to set aside time for sanctuary, even if you have to schedule it. I love that. That's awesome. Yes, even if you have to schedule it. And I just want to talk about real briefly before we close the reading on, again, the idea of legacy. And I have a feeling that that's going to come up a lot in future readings. Don't be surprised if that comes up frequently. This is a new concept coming into the channel readings, and it's something that's a very strong part of my personal life. I am, as we are all, aware everything we're doing, saying, thinking, feeling is affecting the quantum field around us. It's creating our reality. But other people watch what we do. They watch what we say. They watch what our actions are. They watch our emotional patterns. This is our legacy. You are a living legacy. And others are watching you, your children. If you have children, you may not have children, or they may be all grown and you may have grandchildren. They're watching you too. Your coworkers, your neighbors, everybody that you've ever come in contact with has taken a piece of your behavior, your energy, not taken it like stolen it from you, but shared it with you and is a part of you now, and you are a part of them. So again, everything you're doing, saying, thinking, feeling is affecting them, affecting everybody. And this is your legacy, but you may have a larger legacy. You may have a project that you've been working on, or a heart leaning that you've been considering, you've been doing some researching. This is the time to be moving forward into that and becoming more of that creative mode, coming from that place where you feel safe in yourself, where your sanctuary is strong and whole, and it protects you. You protect you. And the best way to be protected is to come from a place of truth, to speak truth. I was just listening to the 42 Principles of Mahat earlier this morning before I started the reading. They are very powerful, and I strongly recommend you taking a look at that if you haven't before and you don't have any a big background on that. But the 42 Principles of Mahat, It's a great way to start the morning with a very strong idea of moral values, moral integrity. That's where your sanctuary is. When you know that you're being true to what you believe and that your words are being spoken from a place of love and truth and peace, you are safe. You feel safe, and the people around you feel safe, and the animals and the plants do too, and everything will reflect that. So that is our reading for the day. I do hope that it resonated and blessed you. This is new. Like I said, this is something that I have not encountered on this channel before. So take this energy of sanctuary, of the cave, and understand that's you. That's your heart. That's your eternal being, your higher self. The cosmos is safe for you. This planet, this environment is safe for you if you are operating from that place of self-integrity. Yeah. I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.